It's Up Close and Gnarly, and I have special guests leaving Austin. And I don't know how many times I've interviewed you, but the most important is I think I was your first interview. I believe I was the very first. I've got your rookie interview in the can, and actually you guys invited me over. It was your grandpa who just passed away, and I'm sorry about that. His house, and we filmed a video there. I don't know if you remember that by his pool garage.
Oh yeah, by the pool.
You know, yeah, by the pool. And I've known you guys forever. And what's funny to me about leaving Austin is you guys used to come to me for like, hey, what's it like in Nashville? All this stuff. And you know so much more than I ever knew now, because you guys have been in Nashville, and I would have to come to you for advice on what's going on and how it works. And I couldn't be more proud of you guys. Just, you know, you're there, you're living it, you're part of it, you're in the machine, and you can start to see the fruits of your labor because all the festivals you're playing and the concerts you're doing. And I'm just so proud.
Thanks, man. That
being said, you guys are going to be Saturday at Boots in the River. All right. I don't think you actually have to get into the river.
We might.
Yeah, probably will.
It's possible. It's a possibility. So I would at least pack a Speedo.
Oh yeah, I already did
with boots, because boots have to go.
Boots and Speedos.
With boots. You know, it was raining and now it's not, and it's going to be good. So it's going to be perfect weather. So I'm excited about that. And now, Davis, you're national all the time. Austin, you were split. You're like, you have half and half, right?
Yeah,
that's kind of your deal.
Pretty much half and half, or however the schedule's going. Sometimes it switches, and I'm there a little bit longer.
Yeah, I just flew in like just now. I ended up I ended up flying. I ran into one of my buddies, Josh Phillips, who writes on like a bunch of Luke Combs and Brantley Gilbert stuff, and we ended up hanging out all day because he was flying here. It was awesome.
I bet you wrote a song too, didn't you? I bet you figured out you guys come with
the
ideas.
We have together before.
We have before.
I mean, are you constantly in songwriting mode? Like for me, I'm always looking for stuff to talk about on the radio. I'm always thinking, hey, that'd be funny to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you spend all this time in airports, it's like you can only write so many Gate 16 songs or whatever.
Yeah, no, I think my brain's always thinking of something. Like I've got a list. Austin's got a list on our phones, and we can just like keep scrolling until we pick what we want to write about that day. Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome. All right, so let's say I wanted to pick up Leaving Austin's latest music right now. How would I do that? What would I do?
Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music. What are the other ones?
iTunes, Deezer.
Oh,
so pretty much anywhere
in the river.
If you could spell leaving at the Boots in the River, if you could spell Leaving Austin, there's no reason for you not to have their music. Is that correct? All right, so now I'm looking at the clouds behind you. It looks fake. It's so
I know it. I was looking at our
Simpsons.
little mini screen up here too. I'm like, dang, this looks nice.
I need to brighten this a little bit.
And every once in a while, a kid comes by on a bicycle.
Brixton. Yeah, he's riding around.
No, that's great. I mean, so you guys are out in the country. You're feeling it. Now we got a show Saturday. Do you guys try to? I don't know. What's a typical concert day for you guys when you wake up? Do you eat a certain breakfast? Do you do anything different? What's your schedule?
Coffee and sit outside.
Yeah, coffee
and chill. I feel like almost every time, especially when I'm here and I hang with Austin, we just get up, have coffee, and relax as much as we can until it gets hectic. Right. So
down check.
Now, but when you're the majority of the singing, you have to protect your voice. And that's one of my weaknesses. I tend to go to Nashville, end up at parties and screaming and yelling. And I'm like,
no.
Yeah, it happens. It's a couple times. But I'm saying it's like, do you have any tricks for you guys' vocal cords? I know some people do a little honey whiskey.
If it's strained, which is actually very, very rare. That probably happens once every couple of years, honestly. Because the last time that happened was like 2 years ago. Or there's like a vocal ease spray that I'll use if I need to. But other than that, usually just kind of try not to yell or anything.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I stay away from like sugar based things. So like even beer and stuff, if my throat has a little tickle at all in it, I'll sip on whiskey with water. So it's not cold. Mm-hmm. It's just slightly diluted. So it's not spicy. Okay. And that actually, Steven from Love and Theft, he taught me that trick.
Works when you're doing vocals too.
Yeah.
If you sip a little bit of whiskey.
Right. A little bit of that could be a possible
whiskey in the water.
A little bit of whiskey and water, not cold. Lukewarm whiskey makes my voice better.
We'll get Luke Bryan on that track. Lukewarm whiskey. Mm-hmm.
Oh, see, there you go. Now, I actually, and I always joke about the name Leaving Austin. I think it's funny, but my niece really is dating a guy named Austin, and they're fine. But I know there's going to come a day where they might break up. And
you can't wait.
Promise me that I can have you do the honors saying, Austin, I'm sorry, we're leaving Austin, and so is she.
Oh, that's so good. You should film it and send it to us.
I don't want it to happen. I like Austin. He makes moonshine and stuff, but I'm just saying, it's to me, you guys should offer that on Cameo because there's a lot of, there's that Austin and that Blake Shelton song. She left him, I always tell people that's where you got the name, is that it's the second part to the Blake Shelton.
We were the other person on the end of the phone.
That's right. Did you hear that? My phone thinks I'm talking to. Look, we're doing an interview right now. I'm sorry, Siri. I dropped her in some vodka, so she's drunk, so it's like slurry. And so she's trying to pick up on me, I think. All right, let's talk about Boots in the River. I'll tell you, it's all ages, everybody's invited. JJ Brown, Deidre and Rick, Joe Peters, and Leaving Austin. And as I'm looking at the flyer, they made your letters, your L and A are very huge compared to all the other acts. I don't know if it was on purpose.
I think it's because Joe, you know Joe Peters, right? He's a big dude. Yeah. So we had to like compensate the size of the lettering for how big Joe is.
Yeah. Okay.
Makes sense.
That's right. And you guys, I know you guys do stuff together sometimes and all that. And I'm looking forward to this family atmosphere out there. And if you want to get tickets, and you guys are probably covered, but you go to gnarlycountry.com and use the promo code, and it'll get you $10 off, and you can get in there. And I know it's going to be fun. It's the very first ever Boots in the River. Everybody's putting boots all kinds of places, but this is Boots in the River. And so, I suggest maybe you guys have those pocket fishermen.
I got
while you're on stage, duct tape it to your guitar.
Just cast a line real quick.
And, just throw it. Just where you can still play and move around. Just don't get tangled up. Don't cross your lines. And I don't know how close you are actually to the river, but that would be kind of cool. If you have to call timeout to reel in a fish,
would be pretty awesome. Yeah, it's just a cold beer on the end.
Seriously, cold beer on the end. I'm telling you. I don't know where you're at, but I'm telling you, I really want. It's like you're on some fake background, and it's beautiful.
It's real.
It should be a postcard. This could be your record album. You guys post for it, and then we'll freeze it, and it's like, boom, there's your new album cover. Hey, what's the one thing that? Okay, now that you've been in Nashville for a while, that was just different than what you imagined, or is there something that just trips you out? Whether it's your relationships you have, or what is the one thing? Coming from California, moving to Nashville, that just seems maybe surreal, maybe weird, maybe cool. I don't know.
I mean, for me, I don't know. For me personally, I was very intimidated at the beginning because it's such like a saturated market. Everybody is there doing the same thing that we're doing. As compared to out here in California, there's not, like, at least in the Central Valley, there's not as much of what we do, But I was very worried that I wasn't going to feel as like I was as good as like all these people that are from all over the world that just are like guitar players or singers or whatever. But honestly, it's like a family. Like it's more of a community than it is anything else. Like there's not a lot of like competing, at least in country. Everybody kind of like tries to like help each other out and build each other up. And there's a lot of encouragement. So that to me was very surprising and reassuring. So,
yeah. And just seeing how it all works, you think you totally don't understand things until you're like in it
Yeah.
And then you're with other artists that you listen to and grew up listening to, and then you're friends, and it's weird.
Yeah.
It's like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Right. Like all of a sudden, I don't know, Alan Jackson calls you up and you're like, oh, hey, Alan. Or in my case, Cletus T. Judd.
Yeah.
And, you know, I actually played Doorbell Ditch'em with Cletus T. Judd on Music Row when I was working for CMT. We were knocking on doors and running. And we just being stupid. But I mean, it is a family out there. And okay, if we, to compare it to the NFL, it's like you guys have mutual respect for all these players. I mean, you guys are the top of the this is where it's at. This is Music City. And now, because like you said, there's a friendship, there's a kinship. You're kind of rooting for each other. And there's no way to say this is how you become a country. It's not A plus B equals C. Yep. It's A plus luck plus what and chance meeting, weird song, lyric, whatever. And it's and it changes all the time. So there's really no right answer to, hey, this is how you do it.
You just got to try.
Yeah.
And when you've got other people that have made it and you get to sit down with them and have a beer or whatever, and they tell you like, hey, I went through the same thing and I still don't know what's going to happen, but just keep going. And, you know, so it means a lot.
Well, I tell people all the time, if they want to win a pie making contest, they got to start baking pies, you know, whether no one's eating it or judging it or seen it. And I know you guys are constantly writing and constantly, you know, thinking that direction and meeting people. And I think that's the cool part about the whole thing.
Yeah.
All right. So leaving Austin, you guys will be there on Saturday. I can't wait to see you. We're going to get to hang out the whole day.
Yeah. I'm stoked.
And I can't have an interview with you guys without making a leaving joke. I'm not leaving you. I'm joining Austin, and I will join you on Saturday. And do you guys sign off on your concert? I'm Austin. We're leaving. I mean,
probably should. Now we will.
Yeah. You probably that's how you need to end the show. Thank you, but get the city right. Thank you, Fresno.
Or I'll just yell, I'm leaving, and then he'll just stay on stage and be like, I'm Austin.
I'm telling you, please do that. Please, no, honestly, that would be hilarious. But then you can't come back for an encore. So that's right before the lights go on. All right. Well, I'm excited, man. I love you guys. I can't wait to see you on Saturday. And thanks for taking time to be on.
Love you, Charlie.
Good love you guys.
We'll see you there.
I'm not leaving you. I'm joining Austin. Thanks, guys.